Hello, I'm Kai Oberbeck from Google Germany. Freedom of expression has been one of the core components of the Internet since it began. Every day, hundreds of millions of people around the world create, organize and share digital information. 20 years ago, the fall of the Berlin Wall became a striking symbol for freedom and self-determination far beyond the borders of Germany. To commemorate this event, we launched this YouTube channel, which is designed to celebrate freedom of expression around the world.
Chinese officials have embraced the Internet as a tool for building economic competitiveness. They do not want the free flow of information to threaten the Communist Party's grip on power.
Inside its borders, the government uses a broad array of penalties and threats to keep Internet content appropriate. But for websites anywhere else in the world, the government has another impressively effective mechanism of control called the Great Firewall of China.
Basically, when someone tries to access a website that is hosted on a server outside of the country, a request is sent to a router where it is examined for blacklist terms.
Blacklisted material includes, but is not limited to, information about democracy, religious freedoms, human rights, or pornography. If it is not allowed through, an error message is sent instead of the requested content. The process can be rather slow.
Google saw a great profit in becoming part of the Chinese market. In the early 2000s, Google engineers created a search engine that could understand character-based Asian languages.
By 2001, Google servers could detect that a user was inside China and would automatically send the user to the Chinese language search interface. Unfortunately, the service was clunky and did not allow easy access to popular piracy websites that are legal in China.
However, it appealed to white-collar urban professionals, and by 2002, Google amassed an estimated 25% of all search traffic in China.
On September 3, 2002, Google was banned inside China, replaced by an error message, shocking the Chinese population and Google professionals alike. Though it is unsure of why this measure was taken, some suggest it had to do with Google being unable to completely block search results that included banned sites. Users could still see banned sites existed, but not access them.
Just as suddenly as it was taken off, Google returned to the Chinese computer screens 2 weeks later. They're not without problems. Often Google is unavailable because of firewall jams or shutdowns when users search questionable terms.
This was a big hit to Google's profit in China, as Chinese competitors quickly surpassed Google usage. Google had a choice to make.
It could either allow Baidu, its biggest Chinese competitor, to run it out of business in China, or it could comply with China's censorship laws and set up shop inside the country's borders. It chose the latter.
Google.cn officially opened on January 27, 2006, causing Americans to call the company anti-democratic, evil, shameful, and greedy.
At the time, Google's motto was, "Don't be evil," and by the standards of America, conspiring with China's censors and becoming a functionary of the authoritarian rule of the Chinese government was more than hypocritical.
But the way Google saw it, improving the access to information in an authoritarian country would be doing good. Even if it had to censor thousands of websites, it could still improve Chinese citizens' ability to learn about AIDS, environmental problems, and many other issues they would not have access to otherwise.
Google thought its actions would be viewed favorably compared to those of Yahoo, who handed over a user's personal email to the Chinese government, resulting in the man's imprisonment.
Or Microsoft, who deleted the writings of a free speech blogger in China as well as in American territories.
But as a company who was once considered trustworthy and interested in the public good, Google had a hard time defending its decision to make nice with the repressive Chinese regime and the Communist Party behind it.
There was confusion and despair among those who could hardly credit that their own army was firing wildly at them. Many were bystanders, perhaps naive about the savagery of the situation. Indeed, it was hard at times to grasp that this army was launching into an unarmed civilian population as if charging into battle. From Tiananmen Square, the sound of gunfire sounded like a battle, but it was one-sided.
When the internet first started, everyone said that its beauty was that nobody controls it, and that's what most people still believe. Well, in China, it's a different story. The government has proven that it can control the internet. It blocks sites that it doesn't like, it prevents discussion on certain subjects, and it fines and even jails people for stepping out of line in cyberspace.
There certainly is surveillance. There certainly are internet police, and there certainly are people whose job it is, who work in the public security apparatus to track speech on the internet.
As of now, I mean, it's censored because of the way their government is. It filters information. Their TV's censored. I mean, much of the information they receive is censored. So until the government decides to release that censorship across the board, I think that's the same goes for the internet.
Many Chinese internet users trust that if their government is blocking sites, it must have good reasons.
We want you to share your ideas, views and thoughts. Why is free expression online important to you? How have you or someone you know used the internet to exercise your rights and to promote free expression? To add your voice to the conversation, simply upload your video to YouTube and then add it as a reply video to the one you're watching right now. As individuals, we can all do our part to make a real progress in the effort to promote free expression around the world. Stand up for your right and speak out. We're looking forward to hearing from you.